Hey everybody, Stevie J from AngryMarks.com here with your Ultimate Fighter 16 Week 7 recap. Shane Carwin versus Roy Big Country Nelson. Here we go. Team Nelson has control as we start this week, so Roy Nelson decides to make everybody who hasn't fought yet draw a number between 1 and 20. Dom actually gets the closest to the number that Roy Nelson was thinking of, but he wants Nelson to pick his opponent. Nelson refuses to do so, and so Nelson passes on the pick to Michael Hill. Michael Hill naturally chooses Matt Secor. They make it official at the fight announcement, and Carwin says he would have made that fight too since both guys don't like each other, and at least it's a chance for one to shut the other up. From there we go to Roy Nelson's training session. Forrest Griffin shows up and is his usual wacky self, but he helps them train. Then we go to a commercial. Next up is Team Carwin's training session, and Matt Secor talks about being in the 82nd Airborne, his brother serving in the military, and dying taking a rocket-propelled grenade right to the chest. Back at the house, Secor tells us that he also fights for his father because he died face down alone. Apparently he had a diabetic coma of some sort and nobody came to help him, and he was so pissed off that when he went to his grandmother's house he ripped the railing right off of her stairs. He keeps his father's ashes in a cross around his neck and says that he can do anything because his father's watching over him, but he'd give it all up, including a shot to be a UFC fighter, just to see him one more time. It's only 10:23 and Michael Hill and Matt Secor are already getting into the cage. Here we go. I'd have to give the first round to Michael Hill. He got the takedown, he controlled the position. Secor tried to tie him up for a minute. It didn't work, he didn't get a stand up. All he could do from his back was throw little rabbit punches that didn't appear to hurt Hill at all, while Hill was hitting Secor in the side and in the head, and even got a couple of warnings for shots to the back of the head. It finally got stood up with 15 seconds left to go, but that was too little too late for Secor to mount a comeback. Get the entire 5 minutes of the second round, and it's over by 10:42 Eastern. The story in this round is that Secor finally gets his game going and manages to get his back and work from there, going for a rear naked choke at times, but hitting him in the face when he's not, and by the end of the round, Hill is bleeding to the point where the blood is smearing on his face and his opponent's arm. And to finish the round, he throws some heel kicks to Hill's thigh. Both guys get one takedown in the third round, but Secor holds the position for much longer than Hill does, riding it out till virtually the end of the round. Even though Hill was probably doing more on his back than Secor was when he was on his back in the first round, I still think that Secor wins the third and the fight. But we'll see. Michael Hill gets a split decision and everybody is in disbelief. Dana White says he had a hard time even going up there to read the score, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission should be, in his words, embarrassed. He even goes to Team Carwin and tells them that there's no way Secor didn't win the second and third round. Michael Hill even seems a little in disbelief. He tries to bluster and say that he thinks he did enough, but you can tell he doesn't really believe it. Either way, that's another win for Team Nelson, and that's it for the Ultimate Fighter this week. I'm Stevie J.